The majority of seniors make a quiet error every day, and they do it with complete assurance, believing they are making the proper decision, because they have been told throughout their lives that fruits are healthy, natural, and good. Indeed, the most of them are. This is the reality, though, that nobody discusses. Have you ever questioned why, despite eating well, exercising, and doing everything correctly, your legs feel weaker? Why does it feel like the steps are becoming steeper? Why does it take a little longer now than it used to get out of a chair? Is it simply aging, or is there another factor that is subtly hurting you? This is where you might be surprised. It's not always what you're not doing. You're already doing it without even realizing how bad it is. We all know that fruits are delicious, nutritious, easy to eat, and good for health. However, not all fruits are suitable for the elderly, especially for the legs, where pain and fatigue often occur when the weather changes or when walking a lot. Have you ever found yourself eating very healthy, drinking water regularly, eating fruit every day, but why are your legs still painful, weak, and unsteady on your feet? Sometimes the culprit is right in the fruit basket on your dining table. Today I want to share with everyone, especially the elderly, 7 types of fruit that should be limited or avoided if you want your feet to be healthy and less painful. Despite their seeming innocuousness, none of these fruits are. You'll never again view your fruit dish the same way after you've learned the truth. Therefore, stick with me through to the end if you value your strength and want to maintain stable, strong, and pain-free legs. Your body might be waiting for this wake-up call. But wait a moment before we jump in. Click the subscribe button and enable notifications if you're concerned about your health. It's here that we reveal the truths that nobody discusses. And I want to know whether you're with me if you're now watching. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. You don't realize how important your voice is. Let's begin by discussing the first fruit on our list. It is commended for its ability to reduce inflammation. Pineapple. The climate is tropical. It's juicy. Pineapple contains the enzyme bromelain, which has anti-inflammatory properties and aids digestion. However, bromelain can also irritate the stomach lining and increase inflammation in the body if consumed in excess. In the elderly, this can lead to joint pain and weakness in the legs. In addition, pineapple is highly acidic, which can irritate the lining of the mouth and stomach, especially when eaten on an empty stomach. The second fruit. Bananas. The imposter of muscle. Bananas are a good source of potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6, which support muscle and nerve function. However, bananas are also high in sugar, which can cause blood sugar levels to rise if consumed in large amounts. For older adults, especially those with problems controlling blood sugar, this can lead to leg cramps and decreased muscle strength. Bananas are a favorite food of many older people because they are soft, easy to swallow, and high in potassium. However, eating too many bananas, especially overripe bananas, can cause blood sugar levels to spike. High blood sugar can weaken muscles, cause cramps, and worse, cause numbness in the legs. Some people even feel as if their legs are heavy, as if they are carrying rocks. The advice is that people should only eat half a banana a day, and preferably a slightly hard, underripe banana. Also, don't eat it at night. Let's discuss grapes. The third fruit. Grapes. Grapes are high in fructose, which can contribute to inflammation and weight gain if eaten in large amounts. In older adults, this can lead to joint pain and reduced mobility. Additionally, grapes can affect blood sugar levels, especially in people at risk of diabetes. Grapes are sweet, soft, and easy to eat, especially American grapes or seedless grapes. But grapes are also the fruit with the highest sugar content. Too much sugar causes inflammation, and inflammation leads to joint pain and muscle fatigue, especially in the legs. In addition, grapes can also increase blood fat, narrow the blood vessels that supply the legs, causing a cold and numb feeling. Advice for everyone: if you like, eat about 5 to 6 small grapes, and remember to choose slightly sour grapes or less sweet black grapes. Let's discuss watermelon. The fourth fruit is watermelon, the bogus hydrator. Watermelon has a high water content, which helps quench thirst and hydrate the body. However, watermelon also contains a lot of natural sugar, which can lead to increased blood sugar if eaten in large amounts. For older adults, this can cause electrolyte imbalances, affecting muscle strength and causing fatigue in the legs. Watermelon looks benign and has a lot of water, but people should pay attention. After eating watermelon, they often have to urinate and lose strength. That is because watermelon is a strong diuretic, causing the body to lose water and electrolytes. And losing electrolytes such as potassium and sodium will weaken the muscles, especially in the legs, making them prone to spasms, fatigue, and inability to walk. Advice is that the elderly should eat less watermelon. Don't eat too much at once, and absolutely do not eat ice cold. Eat watermelon in moderation, about 1 to 2 small pieces at a time. Avoid eating watermelon at night or on an empty stomach. Let's discuss oranges. Oranges are the fifth fruit, the attack of acid on joints. Oranges. They're intelligent. They have a new scent. They're also all over the place. Juices, health supplements, and breakfast platters. They are said to increase immunity because of vitamin C. However, oranges may be concealing an unpleasant reality for elders, particularly those over 60. Acid, which your joints dislike, is what's behind that citrus glow. Citrus is abundant in oranges. Even though that might seem normal, it can cause quiet joint irritation, particularly if your body is already battling inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. When you wake up, you may experience a gradual stiffness in your knees, persistent hip pain, that uncomfortable sensation in your legs after prolonged sitting, decreased mobility, and increased swelling. You might assume it's simply aging. However, that healthy practice of drinking orange juice every morning can be contributing to the very pain you're attempting to prevent. This is what actually occurs. Orange's citric acid has effects beyond the stomach. It gets into your bloodstream and can exacerbate your joints' delicate tissues. Additionally, it causes blood sugar fluctuations when mixed with the fruit's natural sugar. And what's the result of that? Inflammation throughout the body. Every step seems a little heavier and more painful due to inflammation that spreads to your knees, ankles, and calves. You see, oranges may not be harmful to a younger individual. However, the effect develops subtly in an elderly person with aging joints and slower circulation. The most difficult aspect is that you're doing it with the belief that you're benefiting yourself. Since oranges have long been associated with wellness, however, you are now aware that they could not be good for your health. What comes next then? The following fruit has a tidy appearance. Green, crisp, and lower in sugar. People believe it to be the safe option. However, it conceals something that can result in cramping during night, tight knees, and hurting hips. Now let's discuss green apples. Green apples are sour and contain a lot of malic acid, which can cause an acid-base imbalance in the body if consumed in excess. This can affect the health of bones and leg muscles, causing pain and fatigue. Green apples are crunchy and sour, and one bite can wake you up. But that sour taste is malic acid, an acid that can affect tooth enamel and the skeletal system. Eating it regularly can make older people more susceptible to ankle and knee pain, especially when the weather changes. A sincere advice is that if you want to eat apples, choose red or yellow apples, which are slightly sweeter and less acidic. What about a tropical, rich, and extremely sweet fruit that can have this effect if a fruit this basic can? The one most adored by many. Let's discuss the true sugar bomb, the mango. Mango, the seventh fruit, is a sugar explosion for your joints. Mango is the king of summer fruits, delicious and irresistible. However, ripe mangoes contain a lot of natural sugar, fructose, which can easily increase blood sugar. Elderly people who eat a lot of mangoes may experience heat in the body, joint pain, calf pain, and even mild swelling in the ankles. The most useful advice for you right now is to eat raw mango or ripe mango, no more than 2 slices at a time, and avoid eating at night. Not all fruits are good, but you have to choose the type that is suitable for your age and health. In particular, the legs, an important part that helps you walk and do daily activities, are easily affected by your diet. Although fruit is an important part of a healthy diet, seniors should be cautious about consuming certain types of fruit. Understanding how they affect foot health can help seniors maintain mobility and a better quality of life. Always consult a nutritionist or doctor before making any dietary changes. One thing informs me if you've read this far. You are concerned about your future, your strength, and your health. And I want you to clearly hear this. It's not too late for you to change. You still have time to recover. And you're not the only one who has this. Getting older is difficult. The pain, stiffness, and fear of falling come gradually. Additionally, they can occasionally give you the impression that your body is vanishing. Here's the reality though. You may take charge by making sensible, modest adjustments rather than taking extreme measures. 1 meal, 1 fruit, and one decision at a time. Although the fruits we discussed today aren't harmful, they might no longer be the best for your health. And that's all right, because growing older doesn't mean giving up. It's about being more intelligent. You'll notice a difference when you start eating mindfully and select meals that promote strength, circulation, and joints. Less discomfort, more flexibility, smoother mornings, and lighter steps. That's the point of this. Charity, not fear or limitation. I'd like to hear from you now. Tell us what you learned today and what change you're prepared to make in the comments section below. Since we all grow when we share, let's help one another. Please hit the like button if this video was helpful to you or if it even slightly opened your eyes. Click subscribe. To ensure you don't overlook any information that could alter your health, turn on the bell. Before you leave, please input 1 if this video was useful. If not, type 0. You may not realize how important your comment is. Remain resilient and observant. And never forget that your independence is carried by your legs. Keep them safe.